What's up, everybody? It's funny how whenever I'm sick and I'm talking really quietly and it goes like this, and then I go back and I watch the video, I'm going, "Holy shit, I was quiet." And the little EQ monitor that I have for the mic, I'm like, okay, if it starts getting into the yellow, I'm too loud. And come to find out that no, apparently being in the yellow is a good thing because it really seemed like I was not very loud when I was sick. So yeah, it was kind of going. I guess I should be a little bit louder, or if I'm gonna lean in, I got to make sure that I really lean in. um, so I'm gonna do something different. Uh, you know how like whenever you watch Jeopardy, they all got categories. Pretty much every podcast so far has had a category. Well, they'll sometimes have this category called potpourri, which just means whatever the hell we want to throw in there. And so this is gonna be like the potpourri category in Jeopardy, to where we're just gonna do just some shit that I wrote down. Um, I don't know. Sometimes I actually like having a writing device in my hand and actually writing. Just like sometimes I actually enjoy just typing away on the keys, even if it's not really going anywhere. I enjoy just typing on the keys. And fun fact, I don't do the home key thing. It never worked for me. It I don't want to say I felt restricted, but I felt handcuffed. Um, the pinkies are supposed to only do this. Man, the pinkies only cover about 6 keys total. You got control, shift, caps, tab, backspace, and enter. And that's if I'm not just sitting there typing with a flourish and go enter. But yeah, uh I don't like, I will use it as a reference, but it's not this finger goes up and this finger goes down. No, my hands go everywhere. One of these crazy ass days, if anyone's interested in some goofy shit like that, I'll put a camera on my keyboard as I type some shit, and you can see that I I'm not at the home keys, but I'm kind of at the home keys. I don't know, that's weird. But anyway, so this is just gonna be kind of like some shit that went through my head recently, and yeah, just gonna kind of throw some shit out there, and however it goes is however it goes. I had a thought yesterday, and it just really kind of struck me that I don't know the answer to this. I've got what is the only thing that I could conceive is an actual answer, but for the most part, I don't know the answer to this. So here's the setup to the question. When you're born, you're a newborn. You're a newborn until you pretty much start walking. Then you become a toddler. And you stay as a toddler until you can stop pissing and shitting yourself. And then you just kind of become a kid. You're a child, a kid. That's just kind of how that is. It's that kid. Well, there's my toddler. And that's my newborn. Like once they can, they you literally don't need to wipe their ass anymore. That's just a kid. And because I was sitting there trying to think, going, what is that time frame of life called after a toddler? And that just seems like the most next logical thing to me. And no, this isn't the question. I'll get to it in a minute. But that was sort of like a question that came from the original question. And I'm like, because at that point, you're just a kid, right? Because if you can not piss and shit yourself, and you can walk and you're kind of starting to get to that road of independence, you're just a kid. Even whenever you watch movies, I'm just a kid. You know, I wipe my own ass. That kind of thing. It's you're a kid then. And then once you hit about 11, I think 11 is the very beginning of the threshold. I don't say 10 cuz 10 is when you really start realizing your days of being a kid is behind you now because you are now this many. You are two whole hands. And because you're two whole hands, now you got to kind of level up a little bit. But you gotta have that transitional year of trying to remember, those 9 other years you had before this. No. It's a whole new area now. You already crossed this certain threshold. But 11, 12 is your preteens. And everybody knows once you start getting into preteens, you start getting into that asshole stage. Every kid has that asshole stage, every one of them. And then when you're 13, you become a teenager. And you are a teenager all the way through 19. But then they throw a curve in there. Because at 18, you're considered an adult that can make autonomous decisions for yourself. You know, like, and I know how this is going to sound, but just give me a second. Like, age of consent is gone at that point. It's just consent. You know, you are in the realm of juvie ain't taking you no more. You are in the adult realm now. And you're in the adult realm for 2 years, and then you hit your 20s, and then your 30s and your 40s, and so on and so forth. So all that being said goes down to my original question. My original question is, at what point in that entire span that I just went through, are you a young adult? Are you a young adult only for 18 and 19? But you're a teenager. So if we're supposed to be like an adult at that point, then shouldn't 18 have a different number? Shouldn't 19 have a different number? Because then you could be a teenager from 13 to 17. And then at 18, you're a young adult. And then when you hit 20s, fuck off, you're done. You're an adult, off you go. But that was where I'm like, at what point are you a young adult? And the only thing that really kind of jumped into my head about it was 18 and 19. Because you cross that threshold, just like, you know, you cross that threshold at 10, and then 11, and then 13. Well, and then 18, you cross that other threshold. So young adult should really only be 18 and 19. Period. Because then you jump into the 20s. So yeah, that was where I was like when do you become, like, at what point are you a young adult? And then I was going, like I said, well, after you're done pissing and shitting yourself, what are you called? Like what is your nomenclature? And it's like, you're a kid. You're a kid. That was my whole thought on that. I don't know. I guess because I was sitting there thinking about some shit I've been reading. And I was like, at what point are you considered a young adult? Because you have a young adult section in the bookstores and in the library. But there's stuff for like 13 and 14 and 15-year-olds in there. Because for all intents and purposes, Harry Potter's young adult. The fucking 12-year-olds read it. I don't know. That, like I said, I don't have an answer for it. My whole thing is that if it is going to be an answer, it's got to be 18 and 19. Period. I was starting to come up with a list of some more words and phrases that I don't understand or that really piss me off. I only got a few right now, but I think I'm going to leave those for another video because that one apparently did pretty well. So maybe that'll just kind of be like a running thing for a little bit as I just start thinking of words and shit that just really irritate me. But now I think it's time to dive into um, another realm of hobby of mine that I haven't touched on, I don't think, even a little bit so far since I started this weekly podcasty thing. And that is video games. Navi sent me a pitch meeting about, or Ryan George, if you will, great YouTubers thing. It's so good. My favorite thing that he does is, hey, shut up. Whenever he says something and then Mr. CEO has a rebuttal that completely just destroys that, he just quickly dismisses, like, hey, shut up. That cracks me up every damn time. He's got other things like, actually it's going to be super easy, barely an inconvenience. But yeah, he's fantastic, and he sent me something about playing a video game and how, you know, you have your brain that remembers how you used to play it, and then your brain has evolved to go, what's the fucking point? And then you're trying to tell yourself it's fun, and it just kind of dissolves away, and your brain pretty much just kind of tells you this thing sucks ass and we should do something else. And I it's funny because it's so true, at least for me. And there's so many times where I look at a game and I go, do I really want to? I don't. I don't really want to. I kind of do, but I kind of don't. And I also have sort of like a rotation that I go through. Like if I start playing, like lately I was going through and I was so happy I finally got this again. Right here. Finally got Vampire Survivors 100% again. Because for the longest time, I mean the longest time, when that game was in early access and I kept playing it and getting right back at it again, and finally I went through and I think I had 94 of 220 achievements, and it took me probably about 2.5 weeks. But it's one of those games to where if you put it on hyperfast mode, it's 15 minutes. Otherwise, it's 30. So I know exactly my time frame that I'm going to be in there, and I'm all right with this. You know, it doesn't need to take me all damn day. It doesn't need to be like a 7-month kind of thing. I go and I play. That's awesome. I'm all right with that. And then I started going, okay, I got roguelikes out of my system. So now I need to go to something else. So if I start playing a bunch of FPS games, and those FPS games, you know, I play, say, 2 or 3 of them. Next thing I know, it's you know, I'm done with FPS games. I gotta switch to something else, and maybe I'll play like an RPG, and I'll get to a certain point in that, and then I just really don't kind of want to play it anymore. So I'm like, all right, now I'm gonna maybe play like a sports game or a driving game or a flight sim or something like that, and then maybe I'll get into like a crafting, world building, RTS type game, and I go through these spurts of this style or this type of game is what I play. And it's even got to the point now to where I'm going, okay, there's games that I want to play, but I'm going, I don't really want to play that one right now. I have a thing right now where what I want to do is go through and play the Metro series again. Because the Metro Redux, I did. The Metro Exodus, I did. The Metro Last Light, I did. And I thought, okay, well, maybe if I go through these versions where I haven't completed them, then I can go ahead and complete them and be done with those. One thing I thought was kind of fun is if you look, it was December 16th, 2022, and I just thought it was great. I completed this game, had 123.4 hours played. Then I went to Last Light. Then I went to 2033 and did January 2nd, 2023 in 32 hours. And then January 16th, 2023 in 24 hours. So from December 16th to January 16th, 100% all three of the titles. And that was my second/third time that I've 100% all of them. And I say /third because it was a dude that I hung out with for a while, and he couldn't get past this one spot or couldn't get a couple achievements done, so I did them for him. So I 100% his game for him. So 2033 and Last Light, I've 100% 3 times. And Exodus has been once because it's only been on here that I played it. First time through for the others was on my 360. Anyway, I kind of want to go through and do those again because it's a series that obviously for me took over being my Fallout replacement, since Bethesda doesn't know how to create a fucking game. But it's Ryan George was really just kind of on point with, well, you know, what do I do? And I know a lot of games try to give you a lot of busy work to do, and you know, there's go collect all of these flags, or go paint 50 of these things, or go find 100 CDs, or go find 100 feathers, or whatever. And there were times where I enjoyed doing that, but I have to enjoy the game first. And then it's just, okay, I enjoy this game enough, or at least I respect it enough, that I'll go through and I'll do it. One game that I really could not get behind, I did for a little bit, but I just, it was Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't know why, because usually if you give me a game where you have a bow and arrow, I'm going to enjoy it. But for whatever, I can't get behind this game. I can't. I tried, and now I got over 17 hours in it, and I went back a couple months ago, and I just went, yeah, no, I can't do it. But that being said, recently I did, thanks to some emulators, because I have no other way to do it right now, I did enjoy going back and playing Super Mario Brothers, the very, very first one. And I had never, ever beaten it. And I will say there was slight cheating, because playing with my actual controller, if you pull on the left trigger, you can rewind time like you're playing Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. And I found that out by accident one time and went, oh, so if I screw up, I just erase me, and I'm not dead. I don't have to restart the whole level. And I will admit I did that plenty of times. But at the same time, that game was playing in double speed. I could not slow it down. It was instead of when you're doing the Bowser levels. I'm like, it's at double time, so I'd have a whole lot of time to figure things out. So I'm going, I got to rewind. That makes up for it, and I beat it. Like I said, it was cheating, but not cheating, because I was like, well, if you're gonna play it at double time and I can't slow it down, then at least I can rewind, because I don't know what the hell is going on or where I gotta go. So if you want to put an asterisk on it, that's fine. I get it. I get it, but I did it. And I remember I was got into a big debate with people about this next question. And that question is, what's the best Zelda game? And an overwhelming majority of people that I've ever talked to that question has been asked has said Ocarina of Time, which is a respectable answer, I will say. And in my opinion, it was the last good Zelda title. Wind Waker was okay. I didn't like feeling confined to a boat for 80% of the stupid game. But it was okay. But that's why I say the Ocarina of Time was the last good Zelda title. And I personally say the best Zelda title is A Link to the Past. It's where the door for everything on Zelda really truly opened up. Because the vast majority of the first one was a top-down. The second one was all side-scroller. And A Link to the Past, because I don't count any of the Game Boy games, any of the handheld ones. I don't count a single one of you. Piss off. You're side DLC as far as I'm concerned. I hated Majora's Mask. But not nearly as much as I hated Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess single-handedly ruined the Zelda franchise for me. And I could not care less to play a single title of theirs. Heard about Breath of the Wild, but then it was, oh, your weapons have durability, and you have only so much stamina. Look, okay, I get it. Having weapons with durability means that you kind of have to be careful and plan things out. But it's a very, very precarious ledge to teeter on, because what ends up happening is you start telling people they're going to have to be careful with this, and there's extra grinding mechanics, because then there's probably other grinding mechanics in there that you're going to throw in that we're going to have to deal with. And because grinding mechanics, for the sake of just having grinding mechanics, is one of the worst things that you could do besides have a shit story and terrible controls, a grinding mechanic just for a grinding mechanic is just bad. It's lazy, and it's completely just not, it's not okay. It really isn't. And I can't get behind Twilight Princess, because for me, I want to say what the first 4 hours, something like that, is spent with you being a dog. Well, why am I a dog? And why do I have to go find a sword and a shield as a dog? And I just have them stuck on my back, and I still got to be a dog. Like, even A Link to the Past had it where you were a rabbit, but only if you went to the dark world. And you needed the mirror to remind yourself that you are still you. Because when you're a rabbit in the dark world, you can't fight. And what Twilight Princess tried to do was take it to where we're going to go ahead and play on that same premise of A Link to the Past, which is, again, why I say it's the best title. Arguments, like I said, can always be done for Ocarina of Time, but those are the top two, one of those two. And so they're trying to redo the Link to the Past like gimmick that was only there for a little bit, and then you had the mirror, and then you could just go back and forth freely. So it wasn't like you were stuck that way, because you would eventually have to go do the dungeon that gave you the mirror, and then you could not be a rabbit in the dark world and you just continue playing the game as normal. But for over a few hours, why am I a dog? I didn't go anywhere. I didn't get sucked up into things. Things are coming down here, but oh nope, all of a sudden you're a dog. I can tell you exactly where I stopped because it's still in my head this day. After that one chick shows up with the really big tooth, and she's starting to tell you what to do and how you need to go about, and then these portals open up when you're in the town, and these 3 shadow dudes show up, and you got to beat those shadow dudes. That's where I stopped. I don't remember if I beat him or not. I think I did, but I just went, this is so stupid. I don't want to be a fucking dog. You got to get me established, and then you can have something that screws it up so I go back to it. Not let's have you get all your crap. Oh, you're a dog. You got to get the rest of your crap, and you're still a dog. Nope. I'm out. I'm done. And I have not touched a single Zelda title since. And like I said, I could not care less to touch a Zelda title ever again. Some of the shit that they did, I'm going, cool, great, grand, wonderful. Don't care. I don't care. Something else that I don't like, and I think there should be an outlaw on them, or there's an alternative, but online achievements, like play 50 online matches, have 10 online wins, play in 100 lobbies or whatever. All that online bullshit. Cool, great, grand, what? I don't care. Provided that even 10 years down the road, I can go back and get them. If ever you shut down your online servers to where I can't go online and get those achievements, give them to me automatically. Because if I can't go play them and get those achievements, oh, you should have played it back in the day. Well, I was playing Civ 5. Kiss my ass. You know, I can't stress enough how that type of stuff just really, really irritates me. To where, well, it's not there anymore. That's not our fault. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Because if you're gonna give us something to play, and then you're gonna put achievements in there, and for those of us that like going hunting for achievements, and you're not going to let me still have the chance to go back and get them, and I have to play your game right then and there, and I have to play it at its peak right after it came out. The day before. Anyone remember that title that came out 4 days later? The entire company shut its doors and shut down production on it, and then the game was eventually completely refunded because it went to shit and they didn't care. But I'm going, you know what? You can still play Left 4 Dead 2, and it was released in 2009. You can still go online and play that one. So, why can't y'all put that shit in there to where it's something that you could go back and do as long as the game's still there. But if ever you're gonna shut it down and there's online achievements, give us those achievements. Plain and simple. And I bring this up because of this title here. If you've ever played like Fallout Tactics or something along those lines, that's pretty much what this game was. You set your people, and if you're moving and not looking this way and this dude ducks behind a wall, you have no idea where he went. You just have an idea of where he went because you have to have someone with eyes on at all times. But at the request of the publisher, is no longer listed in the store, does not appear in any search, which means all the stuff's been shut down. It even says here, Lethal Tactics online servers will sunset on January 31st, 2022. All offline game modes, including story mode, will remain available to play. And there are 5 online achievements. I can't get this one, this one, this one, this one, and then this one. And sure, I haven't played it since 2016, but there's always been a part of me that wants to go back and play those types of games. If you ever played the game Commandos, where you have certain characters that do certain things, I like that. I like that strategic idea of it, to where, this dude can pick people up, but he doesn't have any other special abilities, like he can't use a sniper rifle, or he can't drive a vehicle, or he can't paddle a boat, or he can't use disguises, he can't go underwater, shit like that. I like those types of games. I think they're a lot of freaking fun. And this is just one of those that's like that. But you give me achievements and then you shut everything down. I mean, I didn't see this notification until yesterday. I'm like, really, man? Just give me those achievements. Because at least then you have the potential. Because it's, okay, I still got to put in time to do all the rest of them. But because I didn't go do it right away, I don't know. That irritates me. And then franchises like Far Cry. I really did enjoy those titles. Far Cry 3 was so underrated. It was insane. Far Cry 4 was fun. The Primal I skipped. 5 was good. New Dawn was meh. And 6 was boring. I reviewed it as just being boring. When I stop having fun playing a title, because it's once it comes into my attention, it never leaves my attention. So if I see in your title that you're just giving me nothing but more busy quests, more busy collecting, more just busy work just to inflate the playtime of the game, I lose interest. Because there was so many times where in that game, and I put 34 hours into Far Cry 6. There was so many times where I would go, yeah, but come on, man. If I'm level 16 and max level's 20, which I don't think that's the case, but let's just say that is. If I'm 16 and I'm looking for weapons that have 5-star damage and the highest I have is 3, well, if I'm 4 levels away from max, why in the hell do I only have 3s? I should have a constant supply of 4s. At least half of my weapons be 4s. And I remember the weapons and shit being like a star system, but beyond that, it's like this is not okay. And now that I see this, I have 34.1 hours in it, And there's 99 goddamn achievements. So if I want any of them, I got to go play this bitch all over again. Unless it's one of those situations where there's a couple games that'll do it. If you go back to play it, and the moment you log in and you get into a certain spot, it'll just be like, brink, here's all the achievements you should have gotten. It might work for that. I don't know. Part of me doesn't really give a shit. Because, again, that game was boring. It just... Normally, I'm kind of cool with taking my bow and see if I can sneak in. And that one gives you animal companions that you can use to help out to do shit. Like Little Chorizo. That adorable little damn dog. And if you're gonna give me busy shit just to do busy shit, I'm not interested. And yesterday when I went to go to the comic shop, new dude working there, first time I met him, and we started talking about video games and stuff, and one of the guys there mentioned that a game he really enjoys is Phasmophobia, and I just instantly replied with, I'm sorry. Because, and maybe I did talk about video games since I'm bringing this one up. I might have. But with horror titles, for myself, I don't usually get scared by visuals. Like you can have some gory shit. I'm like, oh man, that's messed up. But after that, I'm going, it's jump scares. It's just nothing was there, and all of a sudden it is. And I've even played so many of them that I can pretty much smell when a jump scare is coming. And that's why I thought Monstrum and Kalat were so terrifying to me, is they play on the auditory cues. I love telling this story, and I'm pretty sure I've told it before, but since we're talking about video games and various other things, I'm telling it again. I apologize. If you've ever played the Dead Space series, the first game was great. Really enjoyed the first one. And the second one was really good. I enjoyed the second one. It was the only game that I had on my 360 that sat with one achievement left, and that was to do their Iron Man run or whatever the hell it was called. Where you had to go through the whole damn game and you could only save 3 times. That was it. And I remember there was so many different hints and everything that they were saying and the 360 had it better than PlayStation 3, because with the 360 came out 2 discs. Well, switching from the first disc to the second one gave you a save state, so it gave you a freebie. So essentially at 4, where PlayStation had 3. And everybody said you got to get through the first disc, and then you have all 3 of your save spots for everything after that, and one of them should be here, one of them should be here, one should be here or here, depending on your level of comfort or whatever. And so I went, I'm not even going to attempt it. I never even attempted to try it. Didn't give a shit. And then for the most part, everybody shit on Dead Space 3. And I can't say that I thought it was ever a bad title, because I played it how they really wanted you to play it, and that was with somebody else. You had Isaac Clarke and then Carver. Carver's something or something Carver. And so the guy I played with was Isaac and I was Carver. And I remember we got to this one spot, like a boss fight, and I just make the offhand comment of, what the hell's with all these nutcrackers in this room? He goes, what? It's like, there's nutcrackers in this room. Like, they're everywhere. There's all different sizes. He goes, no, there isn't. I'm like, don't be an asshole. I know what I see. There ain't no don't tell me there ain't no goddamn nutcrackers, because I see them. He goes, there's no nutcrackers. I'm like, dude, do you see the where I'm pointing with my beam for my gun? He goes, yeah. I said, I'm flipping it right here on the Nutcracker's head. He goes, "There's nothing there." Well, you're pissing me off. And I was like, fuck it, let's just move on. And we're going through, and next thing I know, I hear, "No, Daddy." Like, we're just randomly going through a hallway in a spaceship. "No, Daddy." Like, what the hell? He goes, "What?" So you didn't hear that? He goes, "Hear what?" "You didn't hear someone say, 'No, Daddy'?" He goes, "No." I'm like, "Dude, you are pissing me off, and no, don't do this, because you're irritating the shit out of me now." He goes, "I didn't hear anything." I was like, "You are deaf as hell. Like, she just did it again." And he goes, "There's nothing going on." Well, come to find out, the way that they programmed that game was depending on which character you played would depend on what you saw when. And I remember there was a specific spot. I don't know what he saw. All I know is he's screaming through the mic, and I'm hearing it through the headset. And I'm also got this other shit going on to where I'm like on a floating platform, and there's various pieces of furniture, and I'm hiding behind a couch. And he's going, "Why are you just standing there?" I said, "I'm behind a couch. Where are you?" He goes, "What the fuck are you talking about? I'm getting my ass kicked." I don't know what's going on. And once you realize they designed that game for you to have that sort of sense of battling amongst yourselves for what you see in here versus what they see in here. And that's also what the characters are doing and the different things they are going through. Oh my God, it was brilliant. And then everyone's going, "Yeah, well, if that was their true thing, and then you tell me that I can only really experience the game if I play with someone else." Stop being an asshole and just appreciate it for what it is, because nothing else has ever done anything like that before, and nothing has done anything like that ever since. So no, shut the hell up, and we're gonna enjoy this. And anyway, Dead Space did it right to where you had a wide angle for a light in a horror styled game. But it was only in that angle. But it was a wide angle. So if you have let's see if we can do it this way. So this is your screen. Okay, this is the entirety of your screen, and let's do this. All right. So this is the entirety of your screen. You're gonna have, let's say, this is a hallway you're going down. And there's a bookshelf back here. And there's a candle on the bookshelf that's not lit. And over here's a door. Over here's a door. What they would normally do is they would say, "Here is your field of vision." That is where you get to see. You don't see any of this other stuff. This is your field of vision. And I'm going to have y'all never ever really used a flashlight in an all dark area? Because that's, if your batteries are about to go out within the next 3 minutes, that's the kind of coverage you're going to get. But what you should have is that be your light coverage. Because then over to the side, you can have little sound cues. And little things that start to really kind of affect people But nope. Let's have it be really, really tiny. Because the Phasmophobia super flashlight should be how flashlights are, period. And that game sucks. 100% that game's terrible. Um, it's boring. I didn't feel like there was enough poltergeist interference to make it scary. I remember I played with some people, and I just went in screaming and yelling. I was like, dude, shut up, you're going to piss off the ghost. Man, fuck the ghost. I think I did 12 missions, and the ghost only ever killed me once. I'm like, this is boring. No, it's so good. No, it isn't. It's boring. And Monstrum, which I have floating around in my channel here somewhere, 2.9 hours. Escape via the helicopter, never done it. Win the game against a hunter, never done it. Escape via the life raft, never done it. Win the game against a brute, never done it. Win the game against a fiend, never done it. Escape via the sub, never done it. I've never beaten that game. That game terrifies the shit out of me. If you want a really good playthrough to watch of that game, look up Soviet Womble. The panic-induced mode that he goes into, 100% what I went through. The only time I will say that he was probably a little too much of a bitch was whenever he was playing Alien Isolation. And for me, especially for someone who give me a good game with a good story, with good controls, and make it rewarding enough, I've played through this game once. 18.1 hours. 18.1 hours. Okay. And I am 8 achievements away from 100%ing it. And to me, this is where the standard should be. Because if you're going to be a weirdo achievement hunter like I am, if I play through once, there should be like some nuanced things that maybe I missed, which is always understandable. Because especially when you're being chased down by a xenomorph, you're just going, nope, nope. Playing through this game was so much fun. I enjoyed it, and I'm not really a big fan of the Alien movie series, but this was so good. And the fact that playing through one time got me within 8 achievements of being perfect, that means that if I really enjoyed this enough, or if I didn't feel fulfilled enough, or if I just want to get that last little bit done, I can go back and get those last little pieces. That to me is how you perfectly put together a game. That you can go through and you're trying to get things done. You might come across some things accidentally for little extras that you go through, but you might not. But 8 achievements left, pretty spot on. I think that's how all of them should be. All single player titles like this that have achievements. Go through a little bit. Get in there. If you play, you're actually trying to do shit you're supposed to be doing, give me them achievements. But if I got to do some stupid nuanced bullshit, like if you ever want to look up some games that are just ridiculous when it comes to getting all the achievements, look up Gears of War. No. Nope. I played the first 2 titles, and I didn't like them. I thought they were kind of dumb. The controls were awful. And Cliff Bleszinski pretty much has that in every game that he's made, is his controls for the game are terrible. And I was like, no, I'm good. Nope. Not really a good story. Not really good controls. I'm out. Just because you have a cool sounding protagonist, we're going to go ahead and it's going to be a fantastic game. No, it's not. It's not. Let's see, was that all I really had in here? For the most part. There are some video game titles that I do think need to die out, or that they need to not really just keep trying to stuff a new title down our throat every year, every other year. Assassin's Creed, I'm looking at you. I only really enjoyed the second one. First one was okay until I felt that they did wrong story planning for it. And I just went, I'm done. I don't remember the names of the cities, but I know you go through like 4 cities. So you go through and you kill someone in each city, and then you come back to this one and they're more alert. Well, why didn't I just stay in that one and then finish murdering all the people I need to murder and then go into the next ones? Like, why are we going through it in a rotation like that? That just seems really ridiculous. That tells me that you're probably not a good assassin, because you would create havoc and then use that havoc to take out another target, to create even more havoc, to then take out that last target and leave the whole city in shambles while you burn out and go to the new one. And then maybe that city has some extra increased stuff. I don't know. That's just where I was on that. Maybe that's too much of my writer brain. To where I'm going, you could do that better. And you didn't. But yeah, Assassin's Creed needs to stop. Another one that we all know needs to stop, but never will. It never will. I mean, they got a third company in the rotation now, and that's Call of Duty. I remember when it was between Treyarch and Infinity Ward. Most of the Treyarch stuff didn't care about till Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 was fun as hell. Story still made no sense. Never stood any of the Treyarch stories. None of that shit made sense to me. But the Infinity Ward stories, yes. All your Modern Warfares, fantastic. Which, speaking of, why in the hell y'all got to break these achievements? I've killed 300 dogs to try and get that last dog kill. It doesn't work. And there's apparently one more gun that I didn't get a kill on, and I'm not gonna go for Mile High Club again until I can take these other 2 out. But I went through and I got all of these, and God, I was really upset once I found out that all of my screenshots that I had for probably the last 7 years, whenever Kickapoo upgraded my shit, I lost all of them. And one of them was whenever I had gotten this best of the best achievement, where you have to go through the course in less than 15.1 seconds, which I did in 14.2. But that proof is gone. Just really, really bummed me out that, really, all my screenshots for all. All right, whatever. But yeah, I think Call of Duty needs to calm down. Bethesda needs to hire some writers. Personally, I think WoW needs to go away. World of Warcraft. One of the guys I used to work with at one of the computer stores gave me an idea that I've been drooling over ever since, and I'm going, Blizzard, get on this. Because you've got the Horde and the Alliance, and then it's one side against one side. But when you've got a game that has 3, make a StarCraft MMO, because every single one of your major IPs has had a third title, with the exception of StarCraft. And y'all have left that thing in the dust for too damn long. When was the last StarCraft 2? When were you released? 15 damn years ago. You've not had a StarCraft release in 15 years. And you give us some bullshit Diablo 4. And you just keep pumping in WoW expansion after WoW expansion. Give us a StarCraft MMO, damn it. I mean, I remember getting upset when Kerrigan got lost to the Zerg. And then StarCraft 2 brings it up and helps all that out, and you get to understand where all that happened with. But like, why are you just not giving a damn? Like, you had Overwatch 1 and 2 come out and completely killed 1 and butchered the shit out of 2 to where it's just a travesty to try to enjoy. And you won't put any love into StarCraft. All the other IPs you got rid of. Lost Vikings, Blackthorn. Are you guys just that boring? You just keep throwing money into that one and wait till it builds up enough to where you can make another team to go do another fucking failure? StarCraft MMO, man. Make it happen. PvPvP? Come on, man. You know, you've got all these looter shooters and arena shooters and extraction shooters. PvPvP. VE. Level up as a Zergling to eventually get to an Ultralist. Come on, man. How would that not be incredible? All right. Yeah, like I said, just a lot of rambling in this one. Did you like this kind? Do you want to do just more just ADHD type shit, or do you want me to have more of like a specific topic that I go on? Because I think every now and again, like these potpourri type things are gonna be a thing. Let me know about what video game trope or even series you don't like anymore and you want to see disappear. Yeah. And I also have something else that I think I'm going to throw in. I haven't quite figured out how to piece it all together yet, but something that I've never, ever done before. But yeah, I'll leave that as a surprise for now. But yeah, y'all stay safe, be well, and enjoy the nice weather as it starts to come for those that are here in the northern hemisphere as we start to prepare for warmer weather, because it's almost 80 and I'm gonna go take my fat ass outside and kind of enjoy some outside weather for a little bit. Y'all take care. Be safe.